It's only a model. Shh.
We're nice around the table, not round the square or triangle. We come to hang at the gang on Fridays as we're able. We play well here in Camelot, we are chums and fun, but Camelot. We're nice around the table, our host is formidable. He runs his train, loves insane, but sure he's quite unstable. He's hobby mad in Camelot, but seems never to have done a lot. Able, quite incomprehensible. To wrenching and we have no plan but to sit and hear Dodge babble. It's a lazy time in Camelot.
I have to shake my bum a lot.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it. And it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey, happy Friday, fellow Knights of the Rhomboid Table. Welcome to another meeting around the Rhomboid Table. I hope you are all well today. Our first live stream of the new year and closing in on live stream number 250 straight Fridays. And I think I'm going to try to do something different. I haven't decided what yet, but 2 weeks from today, it'll be live stream number 250, and I think for some reason that number warrants some attention. We'll see. I hope you're all good. Got not a lot to talk about. New Year's is not that big a holiday for us. I think it's partly being a teacher. Is the year always starts in August and ends in June, you know, and when you talk about last year, you're always thinking last school year. You always think in terms of school years. And if you're in the business world, you have fiscal years that might run October to October or something like that. Anyhow, let's see who all are here so far. We've got Sir Lee from Anfield Road. Sorry I missed your live stream, but the last few days we've been very busy around the house and out of the house. Sir Colin of Wykes is here. Sir DJ from Scania Rig Rider is here and says he's in Holland. Hello to Holland. Sir Andy the Hot Dog Pilot is here. Sir Ifo van Zond, also from the Netherlands. We have Sir Jean Ricard, who is here from Denmark. Sir John Benicki, who is from Indiana. Sir Dwight of Curly, who I believe is from southeastern, I forget which part of Illinois. Sir Andrew of March West Junction, who is from somewhere in the UK near Manchester, I think. Sir Michael from McCarville Studios, who is here, and I don't know where he's at. I forget. Sir Dino, the Model Railway Shed, is here. Welcome in, welcome in. Sir Clive of Newland Railway, who, after some hard losses in the pet family, has added a gorgeous new princess to his thing. So if you haven't seen, go check it out. Sir Randall of Ellison is here. Good to see you, my friend. Sir Dirk from Southern Cross Railway Systems. Sir Daz of N-Gauge and Manchester Buses has just popped in. Nice to have you here. My screen is changing back and forth. People are popping in and popping out. Our CEO, Sir Tim of Dowd, welcome in. And Sir Chris from the Valleys. And anybody who hasn't popped in yet or popped in and you fell off the list, yes, you did your first new live stream yesterday. And like I said, I'm sorry I missed it, Lee. I would have popped in for a little bit, but just been kind of hectic days lately. In fact, I missed a lot of things today. For example, my friend Christopher just put up a really cool video I started to watch. He got a new addition to his trains, and he was talking about it on Wednesday. He actually bought 2 trains while I was talking to him on Wednesday. And I started watching that video, but I had to come down here and set up. Today being Joyce's last day of holiday, she had a lot of things she wanted to go out and do, and we went out to lunch and spent some last quality time together out at the shops and such. You may noticed I nailed my lip with a piece of hot pepperoni on a pizza. Oh man, that hurt. That was 3 days ago. Hey, Sir Tom of Houston is here. Nice to have you in. But to all of you watching in the background, watching on makeup and that, Sir Eric and Sir Billy from Von Don Eisenbahn are here. Great to welcome in. No, I nailed it with pizza there, Andy. Very painfully so. A pepperoni that got overcooked. The pizza says let it sit for 5 minutes after you cook it. Joyce let it set 10. I go to bite into a piece and you're trying to bite just the end off, and I always catch just the corner of a pepperoni and it falls, and normally this hair protects my chin, but nothing protected my lip. So this is a really bad burned lip. So anyhow, it's been an interesting week. Nothing really bad. I don't have dates set. I am going to be going into surgery sometime in the next couple of months. I'm fighting some health issues, and doctor said, well, we're going to just have to go in there and see what's wrong and blah, blah, blah. So, relatively minor surgery. It's just results of it could be really good or, won't be good, but could be as expected or bad news. So I won't know until they schedule the surgery and perform it and then take care of everything after. Did I see Sir Dirk of Chesty Trains is here? And let me see, did I see Sir Alan of Buckland Junction is here? I thought I saw. There he is, Sir Alan Reynolds. Thank you, sir. Welcome in. Great to have you. It will be an outpatient surgery, Tim. So yeah, I won't be in the hospital even a day, and I will make sure it's scheduled for not a Friday. I've got 3 dates I have to make sure. And there's Sir Ray Bubel. I just watched your video right before I came downstairs to set up. I didn't get a chance to comment up, but cool stuff. And yeah, I thought your history little bit that you threw at the beginning of your video last week was just really well done. It could have been a professional. It was well voiced over by yourself. It had some great facts. And again, I wouldn't know if those were lies. You know, it's not my history. And so I just thought it was really well done. Okay, so anyhow, I do have some stuff that has arrived this week. I'm saving most of it, but since it came here, before I get to the box, I just want to point out something. Most of you that have been on this channel know I started the model railway hobby Christmas time of 2015. That's when I actually bought my first model train, which I then had to wait till after Christmas to get the track and the controller. And so I thought this was interesting because I've got to go to a screen here, so bear with me while I find it. Here we go. Bing. This was a Facebook memory today, January 3rd, 2016. At this time, I own one train. This is the first ever picture of a train table, the beginning of a layout. The beginning, you know, this is the first thing I ever posted about trains other than when I got the train and did a video the day after Christmas to share with friends on Facebook where it's on the kitchen table. But this is it. The very first picture. I built that exactly 9 years ago today, and none of it is still around. All of that has now been used in 1,000 other things. I think the top piece of plywood is still on the Dumb and Horse side of the table. I try not to scrap, but I'm pretty sure that top piece of plywood is still on my layout table. But the framing and everything, that all got used for other construction projects or temporary things. Yeah, then I created a monster, right? So I just thought this was interesting. The very first ever, and just to, I got to get to the right page here. I'm going to scroll it up and then I'll click on this. So you can kind of see everything here. But yep, a little, I got to center this. So I got to come back and center that. There we go. But yeah, a little computer printout from SCARM of my planned original layout. 3 lanes and all designed to fit. It was going to be a 6-foot wide table. And I don't even remember how long the table was going to be, maybe 6 by 12. And, you know, just little hand-drawn notes and how things were going to set up. Even then, I was thinking of maybe the bus depot and a little bit of Fowler car system and that. But that was 9 years ago today. And obviously, I don't have one great camera view, but whoops, not that one. This is probably the best. So I believe that one 4x8 board is still over here. Even though it was a 4x11 because I had a 3-foot board on it, that's here. That's still in here. I think I did save some of it. Hey, you, Brian, hello, from Sir Brian of the Angels. Great. Yeah, how far I've come and how far I've stagnated, because I haven't worked on this in 4 years other than just some little bits of modifications with buildings and 3D printing, and I've still never painted any of those 3D printed buildings. I've done more work on the little building my friend Mark sent me than anything on the layout lately. Obviously I worked on the Fowler car, but the only other big event was I finally put the actual it's not Bremen, it's actually the Bonn station, but it's going to eventually be touched up to look something like somewhere between the Bonn and Hanover train station. That's over there now. I've got lots of projects I should have worked on this year, but I haven't. So anyhow, let's go back and let's do, rather than a video, I'll still do a video about it, but let's do a live unboxing because as you can see, the mail arrived about 2 minutes before I clicked go live. I ran upstairs, got it real fast, and brought it down. But this is something, this is kind of a belated Christmas gift, probably to myself, although if Joyce wants to take credit for it, she can, but she'll take credit for the other side. But Joyce bought me a gift certificate for Christmas and told me to buy what I want off of eBay. She bought it for me on eBay, and that stuff came in last weekend. But it needed something. What I bought on eBay needed something. It needed this. So we're going to open this. We're not going to test it or anything today, but we're going to do a little show and tell. You know, if you mind, you can always switch off. I'm sure there's some other live stream going on. There's always somebody live streaming somewhere, or there's a good pub down the street if this is all boring or something, you know. Anyhow, yep, peanuts. Somebody sent me peanuts. And I see Sir Andy Dobson is here. Welcome, Sir Knight. Glad to have you here. Yeah, I don't have the time Heath has to take that long to open a box. But you know, Heath doesn't need that much time either. Heath does it because Heath is a sadist. He knows it drives you all crazy, so he does it. At least that's my interpretation. I don't... I used to talk now and then with Heath, but he's moved on into other things, and I'm not in his live streams anymore. And sadly, I just don't get to talk to him like we once did back in COVID. But he got a job, he moved into things, his participation in certain live streams ended, and then he moved to a night where I can't. So what do I have here? I have a Märklin, and it is a locomotive. 39579, and I'm sure a couple of my Märklin people know what this is already, but it's a Märklin exclusive. This is a rare locomotive, and I got it for a lot less than I should have paid for it. So I'm quite happy. It is a 20-year-old model. It is 20 years old, but it's never been opened other than the guy took some pictures to display it. It has never been run. It has never been tested, so I get to do all that. So no, I would not be changing trains live. Jean asked earlier, but I hadn't even had it out of the box yet. But everything is still in here. Tape is still in place. This is the most it's ever been out. It's never even had the outer shell removed. Let's see, what did Randall say that I missed? At a couple other BR103. I needed a BR103, and I needed it in this livery. Again, I've got the V200 finally, and this is another must-have. You have to have a 103. If you're a German train guy, especially recent eras 4, 5, 6, you have to have this. So this is nice. Well, I'm going to take it a little further out, as long as I don't butterfinger and drop it like a complete buffoon, which I could see myself doing. But this... It has never been this far removed from packaging before. Even on display, it was in a shell. This was one of 2,000. The guy that sold it got 2,000. I think I told a couple of people it's 3,000. I need my eyes checked. It was 2,000. He came across, this gentleman bought trains over a 60-year period. He flew to Germany. He was from Germany. He flew to Germany every year for 60 years and brought home trains. Never ran them. He didn't have a layout. He just had a collection of Märklin trains. So 2,000 pieces. You know, if that guy spent $10 a piece to get the collection, that was $20,000. I have no idea what the guy spent to get it, but he runs a shop, and he also has an online version of his shop. It's Vintage Toys and Trains. But anyhow, here we go. Okay, shaky hands already going. This is an older model. This is, I shouldn't say older, but yeah, it's from 2003. It was a Märklin exclusive. And I had a chance to buy newer models. And this thing is heavy and ice cold. So I am just happy to have this. So I can't wait to see if it works and will go in the system easily enough. We'll have to find out. Unfortunately, that will have to wait. I won't do it live because, yeah, but I'll be doing a first impressions video with this. And if you're wondering why I had to have this, It's because I got a certain rake of cars. Sadly, the reds don't line up perfectly because old school tin plate, new school metal, but new paint and so forth. But I'm not going to complain about that. I'm a happy camper. This is very cool. And you'll see all of that in a video sometime this weekend. I'm very excited. This is, I was a little leery about buying it, but when I found out it was one of the Märklin exclusives, limited run, only members of the Märklin Collectors Club could buy these back then. It is digital. I don't have to convert it. I had a chance to buy an older tin plate matching one for about $100 that would have needed converted, but I got this for, the guy had no idea and he just wanted to start selling it off. I don't know if somebody gave him the collection or if he paid a lump sum price, but I lowballed him an offer on this. To be honest, I lowballed it hoping he wouldn't accept it so that I could buy a new one and tell Joyce, well, you know, I just need to buy a new one. Because Märklin is releasing a new version of this next year. And Piko has one out this year. But I lowballed him an offer and he accepted it. So yeah, quite chuffed with it. So enough of that. That was the big news. So yeah, I got a 5-car set. This is a TEE, Trans Europe Express set. So I'm very, very excited about that. So I've been ignoring the chat. So I should go ahead. Let's get some trains running and then I'll catch up with, I'm trying to look to see if anybody. Well, there you go. See, you know, I'm full of surprises, DJ. I'm full of surprises. So yeah, yeah, that is a classic and it's in a classic livery and I've got the train. And again, before I go any further with this, special shout out to my friend and arch nemesis, Jean Ricard, who knew about the cars and helped me get some things sorted and even order some things with the cars, which I'll talk about in the video. But I thought I would publicly express my gratitude because Jean Ricard really got me some very quick information, helped me make some decisions real fast on a couple of things to upgrade that car set that I was just showing you, the one car. There's 5 cars there, and there's a lot to it, but I'll explain that in the video. All right, let's go to some trains. Let's get some trains running. After Joyce's snarky comments in our Happy New Year video about I'm no longer an Era 6 guy, I'm running all Era 6 today. Who does she think she's kidding? I'm running all Era 6 today. There's no steam running here. There's no old tin plates running here. This is all Era 6 stuff. So let's get into it. In lane 1, we have the famous Cop Bus 218 with a German IC set. So we're going to send him off on his merry way. In lane 2, we've got a Taurus in the basic, kind of boring OBB red with a rake of Austrian inner city coaches. And I rode a train, well, very similar to this. Joyce and I rode a train from Stuttgart to Salzburg. Those kind of cars with that loco. And I was impressed. A loco that small could pull 8 large cars. And then I was talking about this with Dirk via email. The Blue Tiger, and it came up. My friend Jim at Hover Motion ran his Blue Tiger in a video recently, and I said, by golly, that must be hints that it's time to bring the Blue Tiger back out. So we're going to have the Blue Tiger pulling a nice long container wagon freight set. So if you like your freight, that's your one freight train today. Hope you enjoy that, but it's a container wagon trade. And then bringing out one of my old standbys, one of my older trains. I've had this for about 7 years now. My Metronom running locomotive first because I just complimented Jean Ricard. So now my goal is to aggravate him and run it locomotive first instead of Steuerwagen first. I love that. That was gifted to me. Southern Cross here, Southern Cross Rail System gave that Blue Tiger to me. Gave it to me. I even offered him money, and he said no. He gave that to me. The first model train gift I ever got from somebody, where it was just a pure gift, and I love it. And I've told him several times, I had been given a negative opinion of Mehano trains for a long time from all the guys in Germany, the years I was just on German sites. And this Mehano, and then I finally found people that were like, oh, Mehano makes good stuff. You just got to buy the right line of Mehano. So absolutely brilliant. Hey, did I see Sir David from Beaten Off Junction is here? Great. And let's see, we got Sir Chase of Chase Railway Lines is here. And Sir Brian of Finn is here. Welcome in, Sir Brian Finn. It is a gorgeous train. I can't believe how awesome it is. And speaking of gorgeous trains, here's a guy that doesn't run enough. This is a class 147 tracks 2 generation. These were brought out about 10 years ago, and they were going to replace the 146s. But they never really completely did. There's still, I think, more 146s out there than 147s. But this little red guy, he's a really sharp guy. He's not my strongest puller, so he tends to do the short loops. But, yeah, I don't think to grab him enough. But he's pulling my double-decker. Yes, the one's blinking. Unfortunately, those lights are permanently on. They don't shut off. So it's blinking whether I want it to or not. I got to figure out why. I've been trying to figure out why it blinks, but I can't find anything with the wire or the connection. It's probably just in the coupler from the... because it all comes from the control cab. But that one's also running locomotive first, so sorry, old Jean Ricard. But I am running all Era 6 today. And then lastly, way in the back, my wonderful class 440 EMU. And then, no, I haven't forgot what's next to me. I'm going to remember it right away today, other than all my babbling. Let's go down to the floor, and let's start off with that new Class 68, which I put out a video early. So I got some cool stuff in because I got the cars. And I think I probably got the cars in the wrong order now. But I still got to get at least 2 more. I'm thinking getting 3 more cars. I'm thinking getting 3 more cars when I can afford it. And making a 5-car rate going through. But I've got that beautiful Scotrail. Unfortunately, in the light here, I need to put a light bulb here or put another strip of lights right here on the edge. Right here. So that these trains show up a bit. But that gorgeous Scotrail, go see the video. This is a gorgeous locomotive and 2 very sharp cars. They make a wonderful rake together. So I got 2 sets of cars in the last week or so, and I am just splendiferously happy about it. So hopefully things run well today to not kill my good mood. See, that's the problem. Last week, I started in a bad mood and got into a good mood. I'm starting in a good mood this week, and that makes me worried. So, just awesome trains. And cross-border traffic, look. It has to be the Prestige line, Dirk. Okay. And yeah, I think that's the line people are telling me. You got to get the Prestige line. But the thing is, when I first got into Märklin, all the guys on the Märklin Users Net and Stummy's Forum were usually very dismissive of Mehano. Because I once looked at buying, before I bought, even before I bought my first train set, I started looking at an ICE3 and I saw a Mehano set online for about $160 American from eBay. And a couple of Märklin people said, stay away from it. Stay away from it. Mehano sucks. But, yeah, this Blue Tiger is aces. It's a gorgeous looking loco. It's a big loco. And since I've had it, it just runs. The only downside of it is the wiring with the lights. I need to fix something because the lights sometimes work, sometimes don't. And I think it's just a little bit of, it might be the wiring. But I didn't have the confidence to go in and try to mess with it. Since I've been messing with a whole bunch of locos lately to get them ready and changing light bulbs and lights, I feel a little more confident. But it's so nice running, I don't want to mess with it. If the headlights don't work all the time, I don't care. So I'm going to go to the multi-view. I know a lot of you, just because there's so many cool trains running today, and I just want to share it all. Brian, thank you for that. You managed to repair your FSM41, but it failed again quickly after that. Evo, I'm sorry. And John Benicki, you're off to work, I believe. Take care, John. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate that. When we blew up the train, you said, no, not again. No, it is guaranteed at the end of every series or Christmas special, a train shall meet its demise. And we've messed with that joke. Like, we set you up in the Christmas Series 3 where they blew up a model train. If you never watched the Christmas Special 3, it starts with Matt and Dan blowing up a model train. Matt, did we just... Yes, Diesel Dan, we just blew up a model train. And how will you be paying for this, Mr. Clark and Mr. Dan? But the thing is, all I can say about this Christmas special is, you know, it was a rough and run plot. I struggled a little bit coming up with a proper plot and actually changed plots midway through the writing and came up with a plot I was happier with. And I'm sorry, I'm stopping because I keep hearing an odd sound, and it's that. It's the Azuma. It's got a car that partially derails, and this time completely derailed. Hang on, we better stop everybody here. Whoa! It uncoupled. Yikes! We've had a disaster. I knew it. I was jinxing myself. Ah! Oh, dude! What in tarnation? You uncoupled. All right, this is going to require slightly better surgery. Got into you derailing like this. What do you Well, that was weird. I'm sure everybody's yelling at me about the way I handled those cars. Unfortunately, with a bad back and everything was a little harder to get under there than I would have liked to. Aha, what's going on here? Okay. Well, when it bumped, it took that little piece off. I'll put it back on later. That should sort the problem out, I think. When they bumped, front plate came off and derailed it. Anyhow, sorry about that. So anyhow, yeah, just apparently I didn't put the Azuma together tight. It uncoupled, and then being uncoupled, it went off the rail on the curve and then hit with the Scotrail, and that just led to all kinds of oopsies. But should be okay now. But the little front plate that goes in front of the front bogie came off, and I'll just snap that back in later. But yeah, so I was talking about Brian talking about the Matt Clark Christmas. I appreciate that because the... Oh my goodness! What is going on here? Urgh. Oh, my Azuma is being a pain in the butt. We're going to change its name from the Azuma to the Hemorrhoid. I don't know what the heck's going on, but the second passenger car keeps derailing. Ah, well. Like I said, jinx myself. I talk about being in a good mood, so the Azuma acts up. One of my favorite trains. But anyhow, yeah, so see, when I put up whether it's a parody song or a Matt Clark bit, I know it's not going to get a lot of views. Because model train people are looking at that go, oh, he's not building the layout and he's not showing off a new train. I don't want to watch it. So it's the comments. You know, when people like Dino or Brian or somebody point out very specific bits that they liked. You know, because I put jokes in there, and you know, a comedian wants to see the audience react. That's why comedians, you know, it's how you make money in comedy. You go to all the clubs, but you get instant feedback. Or like a musician, you want to hear the audience react to what you're doing. You know, are they digging it? Are they getting it? And there's no way of seeing that except by comments. Likes don't mean anything to me because, you know, there are people that will give your video a like without watching it. You know, that, oh, I'm going to support his channel, so I'm going to give it a like. But they don't actually watch the video. So comments. Oh, that's it. You're done, Azuma. You're done. You're done. I'm done with you today. Whatever the problem is with this guy is too much. I'm done with you today. Nobody else is derailing on this outer lane, so you're done. Off with you. To heck with you. I don't know what the hell's wrong with that Azuma, but it is. That second car keeps derailing. So I'll have to check it out later. Oh, well. Yeah, Brian, I know. It may have gone tight, but it's never done this. And all of a sudden it's doing it now. So obviously something is messed up on it. It was making some funny sounds, but kept re-railing itself. So now it's really gone. Yeah, Tim, you like that. Like, now, to me, I had all kinds of jokes I liked. I mean, we went in with the jokes, with the banter between Silas and Daisy. And, of course, not everybody likes the sexual banter. But I like the setup where he gives her an early Christmas present. And she goes, oh, what is it? And she opens up. It's a diamond brooch, or brooch, you know, depending on how you say it. But it's a diamond brooch, and he says you can wear it on your breast, on your dress for the parade. And she's like, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, but wait, I can't wear a mistletoe above my breast. And he's like, oh, why not? And she's like, because it's mistletoe. Yeah, so he says, well, it's the Christmas tradition that you're supposed to kiss whoever or whatever's under the mistletoe. You know, it's on her breast. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, well, you'll have to wear it on your hat or somewhere else, you know. And he sounds a little bummed out about it. She goes, well, what's the matter? He goes, well, nothing, I guess. I guess I'm just going to have to take back my matching belt buckle. Hey, Sir Kieran, how are you? The mistletoe, obviously a mistletoe belt buckle. So I thought that was one of my favorite lines. And then there's the other bit when the ecumenical council people come in, and Daisy says, first of all, it's a running joke where she's now teaching these guys to quit gawking and leering at her, but she thanks the monk. Okay, she thanks the monk, and she says, and Abbot Costello, I want to thank you and your brothers for this amazingly warm but kind of baggy sweater. Because Abbot Costello is always advising her, because she looks cold, to wear a sweater. But also, you know, it's a boob-sized joke. But he gets her a baggy sweater, so she goes, I want to thank you for that baggy sweater. And then the evangelical minister, Pastor Prime, in the back goes, oh, so you're the one who gave it to her? You jerk. And all I can say is Joyce loved both those jokes in that first scene. Yeah, there was a lot of just all kinds of stuff. We took the running fourth wall joke, which started in series 2, just subtly here and there, and then we ran with it in series 3. Well, now we drag raced with it in the Christmas special. I mean, fourth wall breaks were everywhere, and it was just, it became Smokey and Silas getting mad at everybody else breaking the fourth wall and just going off on them about it, even though they themselves have broken the fourth wall in various episodes themselves. So it's when people type, if they did like it, and they type favorite lines. Uh-oh. What have we got happening now? I can't win, guys. Disasters. Oh, why am I so cursed? Oh, God, what is going on with the UK today? Oh my goodness, what is going on with my UK trains today? Sorry about that. The Scotrail, one of the cars uncoupled on it and crashed and burned. What is it about the UK today? My Azuma not working, and that's working. Let me check if the camera is still working. Yeah, I got the camera off, but I took the Azuma off. But yeah, that guy, one of the cars uncoupled it, came around and crashed before I could stop it. So it's something in the air. But it's just my UK trains. That's what's weird. My two favorite, the two UK trains I want to show off today. The new one. And my old favorite. And just anything that can go wrong with them today is going wrong. And I want to know why they are derailing. And what issues they're having. Actually, it's just that second car on the one. And yeah, I'll check the axle and see if there's a problem with the wheel. My trains never derail. Note to self, I must start work on Leia. Huh, somebody's messaging me. Who could that be? Well, I'm seeing some there. The cats actually got up on my main layout sometime last night because they knocked a couple of trains over. But, yeah, I checked the track. I always check the tracks before I run my trains to make sure there's nothing on them. But, yeah, we've got a couple of crazy things going on with these guys today. But You roll a bit too quickly. Okay. And by the way, if you have not subscribed to my friend Monsville, or anybody else for that matter, go to Monsville and check out their videos. If you're into especially 00, but they have a TT, an N, and 00, so they run 3 different scales. They are always fixing, repairing, buying old stock that's dead, and showing you how they got different replacements, or even it's a great lesson on using spare parts and multiple parts for multiple trains and building one train that works. So taking maybe parts from 3 or 4 trains that didn't work and combining them to make one train that works. Great channel. But they're looking for comments too, because that's what I'm talking about. I look for comments more. To be honest, more than views and more than likes, I look for comments, because I respond to every comment. Yeah, I guess I'm small enough I can still respond to all the comments. I understand when you have 60,000 subscribers and get 2,000 comments a video, you can't respond to them all, but I don't get enough comments. But like I said, with the comedy stuff, the feedback, the stuff you liked just makes us feel good. That's why it was so cool when my son came in last Christmas and he had watched all my Matt Clark. He came in with a list of things he wanted to ask and talk about. Like, he finally felt, okay, Dad, I'm 29 and you're going on 60. You're 60 now. Maybe we can talk about the adult humor jokes without me feeling weird because you're my dad. Like, yeah, do it. Hey, Sir Andy 81E is here. That's true. Doing it in a 2CV, yeah, that takes more courage than NASCAR, although doing anything at 150 miles an hour is courage. I don't follow auto racing of any kind. My dad liked old NASCAR. I only got into NASCAR briefly when Dodge returned to it after leaving in 75. And then came back in like 2004, 2006, whenever it was. And then they left again, and I stopped. And that's the only reason I would have watched NASCAR, to see how the Dodges were doing. I don't mind Formula One. I just don't. They tend to run on Saturdays or Sundays, and Saturdays and Sundays are days I tend to be doing something else or watching something else. So I'm just not passionate about auto racing. I'm passionate about cars, specifically Dodge cars, but I'm not passionate about racing. All right, let's get some other views going here. But these guys are happily running right now. Hey, Eric, there you are. Oh, that would be cool, Ifo, the Trix Orient Express. That would be cool to see. And Sir Ray and Lady Tammy from Mom and Son Rail Fans, welcome in. Grab your seat and brew. Sir Mick was here. I don't know if I said hello to Sir Mick, but he was here and the bar was open. I'll double check on that. And we have SP Trains. Welcome in. First of all, before I answer your question, SP Trains. I now declare you a knight of the rhomboid table. SP Trades, you are now a knight of the rhomboid table. You have a royal spanner in hand. You may advertise your channel or friends' channels, anything that is any hobby related. It could be anime, manga. It's just hobby, no religion, no politics. But to answer your question, I use OBS. I use the basic form of OBS. I don't have many of the docs installed to really expand it. I use this basically the most downloaded version. The only dock I have added to it is the VLC add-on, which requires a third party. That way I can use my GoPro on it. But that's the only add-on dock I've added. There are plenty of things you can add to it. I've never learned how to do them. But yeah, I have... this is just a sampling. There are 12 cameras in this view, but I have 4 other cameras attached to the system. And that's not counting my... that's not counting the phone camera, which I can add in. But yeah, I have like 15 cameras plus my phone camera on this layout. Complete waste of time considering I don't really have that fancy a layout. I have a big layout. I just don't have any fancy terrain to show off. I just like to run my trains, and I kind of stopped building a layout because I realized I was more into trades than the scenery stuff. I do want to add scenery and go along, but I just keep delayed. Indeed, Randall. Unfortunately, I hate that phrase. It was better than nothing because you want it to be something. But you'll find here everybody's a very friendly person because anybody unfriendly we get rid of. No, there's actually only 2 people banned, but they were unfriendly. Specifically to me and my wife, and therefore we uninvited them. But that was long ago. Otherwise, we're cool. Had to go assist a UP Freight. Oh, it had its lead motor go belly up. That's not good. Thank you. I got into Märklin. I wasn't even into model trains. Everybody plug yours, same old story, but I'll keep it real short this time. I didn't get into model trades until I was in my 50s, and I bought a Märklin ICE3, and all of a sudden realized this was something really cool, and I had to build something to go with it. And in fact, it was 9 years ago today, this very day, I built my first table, which was... if I can go to it now. This is where it all started 9 years ago. Same room. The room's been painted and changed. The table is definitely very different, but that's where it all started 9 years ago. Let's catch. There goes the Austrian EC, and when it gets out of the way, we got a nice long container freight, but you might only see the last few cars of it. There we go. Running nice. I could extend this container freight by 4 cars. I've got 4 container freight, but they're waiting. Hey, Sir Tom Couples. Great to have you here. You got the 7-year-old twins. Awesome. Kyan just turned 4 last week. Well, almost 2 weeks ago now. My birthday was 2 weeks... No, his birthday was 2 weeks ago today. Mine was 2 weeks ago yesterday. Yeah, isn't it amazing? He's already 4. They're already 7. Just one more thing that reminds you how the years are flying by. When you see the Southern Cross for the first time. But I do kind of like this angle. I always have. You get close-ups this way as you can watch them going back through the snow-capped scenery. The only place where there's any snow on my layout, those few trees there. And you can see some of the deer herd. Some of the deer herd. This is why... this is why when I do those calendars, this is why I complain about all the deer. Because... figures I get trains in the way while I'm doing this. Come on, get out of the way. There you go. There's one big herd of deer there. There's one big herd of deer there. The warthogs are right there. And then over on the platform of Delmenhorst is a bunch more deer. And by the way, this isn't all the deer because I gave some to Cayenne to play with. But yeah, I've got more deer than I need. I need to put those hunters loose there. Sorry about that, everybody. Let's go to some video. We got two guys coming up the ramp, so you can watch them coming up. Going around, going into the Delmenhorst station. It is a good, nice shot. It gives you the other extension all the way down. And why not have a meeting of three here? But there they go through Delmenhorst station. I gotta replace those lamp posts. Just following them along. I don't know if this gives you an idea of how everything, whoops. You kind of get an idea how it goes from camera to camera. I should to put some sheep or horses in the calendars. Oh, I've got plenty of sheep and horses too. I got plenty of those. We got a ton of sheep. We got a herd of sheep in the calendar 2 years ago. And I've got plenty of cattle. So I did get 2 calves this year. But those are on, I don't know, which camera would be the better one to see them. Not that one. It's definitely not that one. The Joyce View cam. Yeah, if you look on the left of this shot, right where the 440's going through, the little blue and yellow guy going through, you can see the cattle and some of the sheep. There's a little farm there. And no, there's no fence to keep the cows from going across the rail. Because anybody who travels to Germany knows you get a lot of derails from trains hitting cows. You get a lot of delays from trains hitting cows. Now, if I wanted to be a selfish prat, or a capitalist prat, I would ask Fowler and Noak to, you know, give me a little something for advertising them every year. But I don't want that. I'm happy to buy them. I can buy them, and I have fun doing them. But what is funny, I gotta admit, what is funny is that the first video gets a ton of views, and then the views go down, and then the last video gets a bit more views. Not as many as the first one, but more than the last few. I find that really weird. It's like the views just go down, down, down. Like the first one gets 160, 170, and then down, 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 down to like 70 or 80. And then the last one's like 120, 130. All right, we'll see how it ended. Hey, Lime Flakes or Lime Flake, welcome in. It's been a few weeks since we've seen you. Welcome in. Glad to have you. But that Blue Tiger just looks nice. And I don't know why, but I just feel like the Blue Tiger works great with the container wagons. I don't know why. Maybe because it's kind of a long, boxy locomotive itself. I don't know. And I don't say that as a negative, mind you. But it looks great because, I mean, you've listened to this channel long enough. You should know I do like that Blue Tiger. It's an awesome, it's a great model. But the oldest running stock, is that set of double deckers that just went around. Being pulled by the 147. I've had those cars since February of 2016. Those 5 double deckers there, the DoStos. I've had those since February of 2016. Oh, well, thank you, PK. Now, you've been here before. Why are you not knighted? Well, we'll fix that. I now declare you a knight of the rhomboid table. Hey, Andrew. Andrew, you left your live stream. It was a New Year's live stream, but you went to bed like an hour before New Year's. I came in and started chatting, and then you said, okay, I'm going to bed. I'm like, okay. And so... But you did stay on for a while. I know that. You had been broadcasting for hours. And it's not easy. I'm a little drained after this live stream, but not that much because I don't do anything all day. Although today I did. I went out to lunch and shopping with Joyce. Always liked this view. The only problem with this view is the camera can't decide where to focus because there's so much happening. But here comes that 218. I love this 218. By the way, I've got an analog Piko base level that I can't use. I can put those DSG sleeping cars on most trains as a Kurswagen. Okay. I'll tell you who should be exhausted from streaming. It's Iron Horse. And not the UK Iron Horse, the American Iron Horse. Wow, he has been streaming every day, 2-3 times a day. You know, even Dave from Scotrail finally said, okay, I'm going to limit my streaming a bit. And now he does Fridays and occasional others. But, yeah, when you first get on the internet, you got your people there. And I did the same thing. When I first started live streaming back in 2020, I was live streaming. I was going on anytime I knew nobody else was on. You know, back then, there seemed to be fewer people streaming. So it's like you kind of knew who was on and not on. And you didn't want to go on because back then they would take you down for it. You know, somebody would be on their live stream going, hey, there's this idiot Anthony Dodge streaming at our time. Who the hell does he think he is streaming at our... And, you know, and then you start trying to find a time where you could stream that didn't conflict. And I found out Friday, 3 o'clock, or actually it was 3:30, because I'd get home from work at 3, go to the bathroom, change clothes, turn on my trades, let's go live. And nobody else was on. Nobody else was on. Not in the UK, not in continental Europe that I was aware of. Nobody else was on, and it just became my time. And so we called the show the Outsider Insider Live. I thought that was a clever title at the time. I don't know if it's that clever. I thought it was a clever title, and we ran with it. So to this day, Joyce and I do every Friday for 3 hours. Now all right, I'm done with UK trades today. That's it. Another accident on the floor there. How many amps? To be honest, I could give you a quick readout of that. If I can remember where to find it. somewhere on my Central Station 3, it tells me how many amps it's running, and now I can't find it. Figures when I want to find it, I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, the main track is pulling about 1.5 to 1.6 amps. You guys tell me, is that too much? I am running 19 volts through the system. So, yeah, I'm the whole system, 6 lanes in operation plus 5 lanes of parking. Well, 6 lanes of parking, right? 1, 2, 3. No, 5 lanes of parking. So all powered by a couple of power wires, I guess I should say. Hey, Sir Dave the Kiwi from Down Under, how are you? So you guys are the pros. Is 1.6 bad? According to my system, they say that's in the good range. With 6 trains with light and sound running. So yeah, we're 1.5 to 1.6 amps, and my system gives a rating, and it's in the green. And it's 19 volts consistent because this is AC. This is 3-rail. If you look at this picture, you can see the 3rd rail are those nubs going through because they're nubs on top, but underneath is the full rail. And I think it's a very clever design by Märklin or whoever designed it first. I don't know who did design it first, but, you know, kudos to them. But that is my village of Delmenhorst. So yeah, my thing is I watched a lot of guys on YouTube that have those meters, the alpha meters or whatever they are. I think they're called alpha meters that like people like Dragon Junction and so many others have that reads the amps and the voltage through your system. Yeah, and they use it to keep an eye, and they were showing how certain bad trains or poorly made trains really crank up the amperage being used. And I'm an electrician enough to understand the danger levels of amps and so forth, but when it comes to model railways, I don't know what's considered good range and bad range. All right, Eric, you take care of yourself. But now this picture here, for those of you who just come in the first time, this is based on a town called Delmenhorst. And the buildings are not accurate, but the road and the station is 100% accurate inside and out. That station is 98% scale accurate inside and out to the station of Delmenhorst. In Delmenhorst, Germany, including the bus area. That area you see that is painted gray, that is all pavement with some banks of trees I have not added yet. There's road there, and then there's the bus center, which you see in the front. And then that little yellow building with the gray roof, that was an old Turkish kebab place that I knew the guys, but they went out of business in 2022 because when Joyce, Jean Ricard, and myself went to Delmenhorst and walked past it, it was closed and out of business. And it had been in business as late as 2021, so they must have gone out in 2022 or early 2023 before we got to Delmenhorst. But that was a little Turkish kebab place I was going to build. I even have the window signs made for it, and I never finished it. But that is accurate, other than it needs the roads. And then there are 3 roads, and I have 2 of them represented here. Here's one road, here's the other road, and there'd actually be a 3rd road right here. And it's actually 3 blocks long, but I can only put 1 block in. So this is a rough representation of Delmenhorst that I eventually will make much more accurate. I have been 3D designing some very common buildings along the main road to the train station, which, conveniently enough, is Bahnhofstrasse, which means train station street, which is the straight road. And in many German cities, the road that leads to the train station is called Bahnhofstrasse. Those clever Germans. Let's see. Actually, that is a tower from Mark at Model Railway Fantasia that he specifically designed for me. It's a railway tower that is based on an old German design, and I am slowly building it and trying to decide where I'm going to put it, because it's actually a railway observation tower. But since Mark went out of his way and made it for me, I need to use it. And this was free. This was a free gift, and I'll kind of show it up close. I haven't worked on it in a while. But he just printed up the form and gave it to me when I went to Getz. It didn't come with the windows. And so I've added the windows. I've added the window framing. And I will go through and put the glass in, but I'm going to paint this. And there's a very specific cream terracotta color that a lot of the buildings of Delmenhorst are in. In fact, if he had made this about double the height, I could have made this the water tower. It wouldn't be 100% accurate, but it'd be freaking close enough and been better than I could do. That if he made this double the height and then had a little walking area out here, I would just call it the Delmenhorst water tower and be happy with it. Be ecstatic with it. But yeah, so I've been adding the windows to it, and then I've got to paint it up. But yeah, it's an old German railway observation thing. Hey, Sir Raymond of Legs, how are you? But considering, and if you don't know, and if somebody could quickly pull up the link to Mark's channel now, or because he's got an Etsy store or an eBay store. He gave me a ton of it for free as a gift because Mark is just a great guy, and Mark's goal is not to make money with these. He is making this stuff and he's selling it where he makes like 10 cents profit. He's selling like, what is it, a set of 3 flatbeds for less than, the equivalent of about $5 or $6 American dollars. 3 flatbed coaches. Now you've got to put the axles, and you've got to fit axles to it, and you've got to put it together. But you're getting 3 cars that if you bought them put together and painted, you'd be paying $50, $60, and he's selling them for like 4 to 5 pounds. And he's doing other cars. He is not making much of a profit on it, but he's doing it. And the funny thing is, not even 2 years ago, he asked me to do a video explaining how to do 3D printing. And I'm like, well, there's people like Tom Grassi and so many other people that know how to do 3D printing professionally. And I myself am not anybody to teach anybody how to do 3D printing, but I know the basics of, how it works. You get your You take your design, you create an STL file, then you turn it into a slice file, and then you print it, and you've got to adjust it. But you know, I did a video for that, so he gave me a lot of thanks for that. But he's just a good guy, and he gave me a bunch of stuff for free. I have to put it together, but I've already warned him I'm very slow on that stuff. It might take me a year before I start putting that stuff together. Because you know, at the time he gave me that, when I went to Getz, that's when I was getting all the stuff from Herb. You know, I was getting this entire collection from Herb, and that I know Mark understands. I say I hope Mark understands, but I know he understands. That kind of has taken precedence and getting it situated, that whole collection from Herb, which is just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, the old America Online dial-up. Joyce's dad used to get upset with us because he would try to call us, and I was online all the time back in the early 90s. I take it Anthony was online again? I was trying to call you. That's when we started investing in cell phones and quickly tried to find non-dial-up internet. Oh, did you? Well, that's cool, Andrew. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you have a lot of fun with them. And March West, don't be humble. You did a beautiful job. You built with the wagons. And who's the other guy that built them? West Hill Wagon or somebody like that? West End? Who was the other guy that did a video of Mark's stuff? Because you, Lord Al, and at least 2 other channels have already done videos showing how, for what you pay, all right, for what you pay, the fact that you got to paint them yourselves and put them together yourselves, like kits. But even if you were to go buy the same kind of kit from a hobby store, you'd pay $10, $15, $20. He's giving you 3 for $5 to $6. Obviously, if you live in the United States, you'd have to pay more. Unless you got a good friend who, like Andy, will hook you up with, well, I shouldn't put Andy on the spot. He does it for me. I do it for him. He does it for me. He says, hey, Anthony, could you buy me this and ship it to me and I'll pay you back? Yes, because I will charge less shipping than the people on eBay charge shipping. Because I'll charge you the minimum. I will ship it for the minimum and charge you. And actually, I've tried to tell Andy it's on me, but he pays me back anyhow. So he did the same thing. He bought me some stuff and I paid him back. And I'm sure he would have said it's on me. And I'm like, no. Roco Vectrons can be 300 pounds and you still go to fit the handrails and winds. There's that, yeah, some of those Vectrons. But man, they've got a lot of beautiful Vectrons. They just released 3 more and 2 of them are really sharp. Although I will say the one was ugly. There was a greenish one. If Dirk from Chesty Trains is still here, plug your ears for a second. Joyce thought the two new, I think they were Vectrons you showed, or were those Taurus? The ones that were kind of camouflaged, the red and black and green and black. Joyce did not like those. She thought those were ugly. I thought they were okay. Definitely not the coolest livery, but you loved them, and that's all that matters. But it was funny. Joyce just went, no. You're not thinking of getting those, are you? No, I'm not. Good. Those are ugly. It wasn't ugly. It was just looks challenged. It was ugly. It's a Loco. You got 6 haul boxes from Mark to build. Just got the wheels yesterday. And that's the other thing. I got to go out somewhere and buy all the wheels to fit these. I don't know. Maybe Brian's got a ton of spare wheels that fit him that he could sell me. Well, hello, CMD from a snowy Austria. Oh, I'm so jealous. We actually got a dusting of snow today. We actually have some snow on the ground that's sticking, but it hasn't even covered the shortcut grass. Dusty. I'm so jealous. Europe covered in snow. German towns, UK towns, French towns all look so pretty in the snow. Toledo looks nice in the snow too, even American towns. I like snow. I can't help it. I'm one of those weirdos. I like snow. I don't like ice on the roads, but I don't mind the cold. I can always put another layer on, but I do like snow in the winter. I don't want to live in snow year-round. As Joyce says, we're four-season people. We like all four seasons, but summer is... The only reason I like summer is it's warm enough to go swimming. But if I got an indoor pool, who cares? But Joyce and I are four seasons. We like to have where we get the beautiful leaves in fall, the growing of the leaves and blooms in spring, a warm summer to go out and do all the summer activities, and a snowy winter. We like all four seasons. Yeah, Randall, we're supposed to get hit with something just in time for Joyce to go back. There's a small possibility she might have a delay or get a day off sometime next week after she goes back. Yeah, in Scotland, you can have four seasons in one day. Hamburg, Germany is like that. I've been in Hamburg where we were on a boat ride at 9:30 a.m. and it was 43 degrees with a cold north wind blowing the rain everywhere. And my students were, "Oh, Mr. Dodge, it's cold, it's cold." I was like, "Get back inside." And then in the afternoon, it was 27 Celsius, about 81 Fahrenheit, 82 Fahrenheit. And they're all in their T-shirts walking through Hamburg going, "Oh my God, it's so hot all of a sudden," because it literally went up almost 40 degrees in one day. Yeah, Hamburg's like that. It's one of those cities where the joke, if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes, fits. Hamburg is like that. If you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. Hey, there's Monsville. And again, this is Monsville. Check out their channel. Oh my God, they put out so much great stuff. And watch it and comment on it. Monsville comes and is a big supporter of many of us. We got to return those favors. When somebody is as strong a supporter, we got to support them back. There, I preached. That's my high horse. I'm getting off now. But that's true of so many of you, obviously. And yes, it's hard. It is hard when you are subscribed to 1,000, 2,000 channels. It's hard to keep track of everything, and we eventually start limiting our comments down to videos of people we really feel we know, that we got to know, and I understand that. No, absolutely no wrong with that, and that's why I'm a hypocrite, because I'm subscribed to about 400 channels, and I have 2,000 subscribers. But again, I am subscribed to the people that are vocal supporters of my channel. Every single one of you that comes to my live feeds consistently, comments on my videos, I am subscribed to you. New people, I'll check your channel out and I'll join. And then if you don't come back, I might stay there. But on every channel I'm subscribed to, I watch every video and I comment on everything except shorts. I don't always get to see all the shorts. And I've got friends that sometimes put up 5, 6, 7, 8 shorts a day, 9 shorts a day, 10 shorts a day. They're just waving their shorts everywhere. And I might comment on 1 or 2 or just say nice set today. Yeah, and I know, Ray, you are subbed and you are a supporter of those channels. And I can preach like this because I am unemployed and I have a lot of free time. And I'm a shut-in. I don't go out in public. I don't hang out with people. So I have all day to watch YouTube and keep in touch when Jean Ricard's not calling me and yakking at me. Or I should say that. Jean Ricard calls me and then I do most of the talking. Same with Christopher. He calls me and then I do most of the talking. Lord Al holds his own when he calls me. I can get talking and he can get talking. Oh, I'm not condemning shorts. I'm just saying I have friends. And again, I'm saying friends, so don't take it the wrong way. I am talking about friends who put up a lot of shorts. And I watch them, but sometimes commenting on all the shorts just is hard to do because I'm watching, for example, I've got 7 friends today who put up 30-minute videos or longer, and nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to watch them, and I'm going to comment on them. I will comment that I got to comment on Ray's video. I got to watch the rest of Christopher from Sakura Densha, another good person. Go check him out. I'm looking forward to his new train reveal today, because he was talking to me on the phone when he ordered them on Wednesday. We were having a video chat on the phone, and he's looking at his computer screen, and he's telling me, like, oh, my goodness, Anthony, they've got this, and I wanted this. And I'm like, you're going to buy it. Yeah, click. And then a little bit later, he's scrolling through another site while we're talking, and he's, oh, dear. I said, you just found something else, didn't you? He's like, you should have stopped, shouldn't you have? You're going to buy it, aren't you? Click. Ah, bonsoir, Titi Harry, mon ami. Comment ça va? I'm trying to go back and remember what little French I learned. Sadly, most French I remember is the French to get my face slapped, not to make friends. Comment ça va? Comment ça va? Or simply, ça va? Bien. Bien aussi. But yeah, I don't know why. I just having bad luck with the UK trains, so I shut them off because they just keep uncoupling and derailing. So maybe that's I hope that's not a problem with the Bachmann cars, that they keep uncoupling. Because I had another uncoupling, and so if you're asking why I'm not showing the stuff on the floor, well, you can see in camera 10 up there. My Azuma kept derailing, and the Bachmanns kept uncoupling. It probably needs a little bit of weight and a little bit more pull. You get 5 cars lined up, and that will probably sort that problem. Because they are kind of lightweight. I thought they were pretty good, and I think they're beautiful. They're beautiful. But as we all know, looks aren't everything. You can have looks on the outside and be awful on the inside. Very shallow and empty on the inside. Then there are people like Joyce who just get it both ways. Yeah, that could, yeah, I've had people tell me that. The problem is, now you got N-gauge, but I got to figure out a way for my fat fingers to get in there and put a little blue tack and hold it down. But I have to go, it crashed and uncoupled on the other side, so I have to go over and around. So I'll wait till Joyce gets here, and then I'll hop over there and do it. But hello, Sir Ewan, welcome in. Sir Brad from Willow Creek, welcome in. We've got a lot of people here. It's great to have you here. All right, we've been on the small cameras for a while. Let's get to some of the big cams. Which one do we do first? Well, this guy's coming in. Not yet, that one. And then this one. Here he comes. And we'll have the other guy going around the other way. Oh, there you go. A lot of train action right there. Had about 4 different trains in the picture at one time there. And now nobody. Nope. The Metronom coming in. I'm going to speed the Metronom up just a little bit. He's running beautifully, but... Now, first thing you have to do is you have to learn to run trains about half scale speed in videos and live streams. Because even if you're running them at... Where when you watch them perfectly, you know, when you're watching them and you run them at scale speed, it looks right. But on camera, for some reason, they look faster and they blur. And so you got to slow them down. You know, maybe that's why Jack always ran his so slow. Jack would leave his running all night, and they were like... An hour later, it went from here to here. That's an exaggeration. But he would go to work and leave his basement on and the trains running so you could tune in and watch his trains run. Canadian Logistics does that now. He's got a, not only can you watch his videos, he tends to have a live stream going where you can go in and watch his trains, but he's got it set up, if you follow the links to his channel, where you can control his trains. Now, mind you, I have not done that because I would crash something. I would break something. And I was watching yours earlier today. I haven't commented on it yet, Ewan, but you know, where you always put that little bit that says the train running session begins at 10:13. I'll watch the train running session, but I want to see what you've done. You know, I've been watching you for a few years now, so I have seen you expand and change and expand and change, and I like seeing it and listening to you explain what you've done and why, and then I don't try to guess where you're going with it. I go along for the journey. I can't wait to see where you got with it. But yeah, they can run fast. The nice thing is with N scale, they're smaller, so you've got more camera time with them. And you go, wait, that doesn't make sense. They're smaller, so they're through. Because it takes them longer, because they're smaller, to go from one side of the camera to the other. You get more of the train in view. Come on, come on. There we go. That's where I want you. I want you just above my cheap backdrop. That is a homemade backdrop. That back scene there, that is a bunch of pictures I took from a train. Open window and just snapped a bunch of pictures and then blew them up and spliced them together. And then took them and ran them backwards so that the two ends met. And so, you know, I forget where the middle point is, but it's the same thing that way and that way. There's Dirk of Chesky Trains again. And let's speed that guy up just a little. The 147 is... He's running great. I shouldn't mess with him, but I want to speed him up just a little. Oh, you're still at work and always have to skip out to check out things. No problem. I was just talking about you a little bit ago. I was talking about your two new locos and Joyce's... She wasn't as impressed with their beauty. Let's just leave it at that. The red, black, and gray sort of pseudo camouflage and the green, black, and gray matching set you got. She liked the red tiger striped one, but she those two she was sort of like, eh. She asked me if I liked them, and I had to say, nah, no, I'm not looking at getting them, dear. No, it's okay. It's all right. I got my two Vectrons, the fire and the horsepower one. I'm good. Although Stahl auf Stahl was one I was considering as well. I know you do. I know you do. I that's what I like to be honest, say that's what we were talking about. Joyce did not find them as artistically fetching as others. Don't hold it against her. But tonight, after the live stream, I shall be messing with this guy and seeing if I can load this guy in and get his address to an address that will work on my layout. Just a nice, heavy guy. I got to make sure I weigh him. Do I have my scale here? Yep. let's put him on the scale and see what he weighs here. He is not the heaviest loco I've had, but he still has ample weight for HO. 2, 1, 0. Whoa! 629 grams. He weighs more than I thought he did. 629 grams, which is 1 pound, 6 ounces, and an eighth. 629 grams. Wow. He weighed more than I thought. I knew he was heavy, but I didn't expect him to be over 600 grams. Yes, the Stahl auf Stahl. That's the one I'm talking about. That is a beauty. I really kind of want that one, but there's too many others. I've got 2 trains coming in that, along with the accessories and other things I'm getting with them, are quite expensive, and that's my train budget until I go to Germany. I will not have a train budget, especially with what I've just bought with my Christmas gifts cards. This is a belated Christmas gift because it went with what I bought with a gift card. I got the cars, a TEE set of cars, so I needed a TEE locomotive. So the Class 103. So I'm very stoked to have this fella. Very, very excited. I've abandoned the show. Don't worry about it. What's the best way to get in here? Come here, you right bastard! I want to talk at you. Alright, who's not on? Me? Aha! Alright, sorry about that. Trying to fix something, but you could see that. I gotta have something down there running, dag nabbit. I gotta have something running. I don't know what a shortbread is. You'll have to educate me, Andrew. Any shortbread available. Those are the only matching Scotrail cars I have. Those are the new ones from Bachmann. And considering how often they're uncoupling, they're not impressing me with quality. That's why I do first impression videos where I go, oh, it looks so nice out of the box. And then you run it and you go, oh. Because those radius down there, those are radius 4, radius 3 and radius 4. The inner one I think is radius 3, the outer one is radius 4. So I'm trying it on the outer radius to see if maybe it was just it can't handle a radius 3, which would be really weird. German radius 3, of course, which is slightly different. But the key is, for that Scotrail 68, I wanted matching coaches. I wanted coaches that had the same exact livery. Oh yeah, Britt Alcroft. She created the Thomas the Tank Engine series. Yeah, so we did not discuss it in here. It was not top thing on my mind because I didn't grow up with Thomas, but I did see that and left the. And there we go, uncoupled again. Uncoupled and came around again. Wow, these cars are not impressing me with this uncoupling business. This is, I'm not happy. Yeah, I mean, I think, hey, Sir Artie is here. My grandson knows Thomas the Tank Engine. Now, when I was younger in the 80s, and I was still a teenager in my 20s in the 80s, we had Shinytown Station, which was the Americanized version of Thomas the Tank Engine and stuff. That's what I'm going to look into doing here. I'm going to see if I can get some European couplings on them right now. Because this is maddening, to say the least. Bastard! Yep, those are definitely NEM pocket couplings, so yep, we are going to get rid of these stupid latch couplings. Ugh. Now you just gotta hope that they're not too short. Oh. Okay, so it's there. There's a famous scene in the Beatles movie Help where Victor Spinetti, playing the mad scientist, does a spiel about, if I had a Luger, it's British, you see, worthless. If I had a Luger. Well, do you think you'll cooperate now? I doubt it. But I'm willing to give it a try. All right, kids, here we go. Hey, Andrew T. Turnage. Sir Andrew, how great to see you. Thank you for popping in. It is definitely nice to see you. All right, so anyhow, I was cheerfully greeting Andrew T. We have many Andy or Andrew T's. There's Andy T741. But anyhow, let's go see how this is doing. Let's hit the floor cam and watch for a minute. I've only run the... And no, we have an uncoupling already. You communist! What is your major malfunction, soldier? What is it? You're just too good? Do you think you're too good? Maybe you didn't couple up when I put you on. Oh, this is gonna be hard, kids. And there we go again. What the hell? What is it with you two? Oh my goodness. I think these two just don't like each other, or somebody's going to suggest Hunt's magnetic couplings, which might be an idea here. Although I will say the top phalange on the one did not go down all the way. That's one circuit. Goodness gracious, come on, Scotrail. Hey, there's Canadian. Well, it's a mixture of Roco, couplings, and ESU. So it's a mix. Yeah, check the coupling heights, all that. But the nice thing is, there obviously must be something with the one. But really, with the Roco couplings, coupling height being off a little bit shouldn't matter because it's a double lock system, and I'm not talking the hook and ladder UK version. It's a system meant to account for potential different heights. I didn't want to put the Märklin telex couplers on, but apparently they were not locking and pulling back properly. Now, knock on wood, they seem to be staying together. Personally, I think it was a personality clash, and we've had to get them to work their issues out a little bit. You know, it might have been Jacobite versus, you know, and maybe they just weren't seeing eye to eye politically and forgetting they had to cooperate for the greater good. Yep. Yeah, it's something to look into for the UK stock. But again, anybody who's followed this channel, this is the first it's been like this. And my normally very reliable Azuma was acting up today, where the one car was derailing all of a sudden. And this is wide enough, it should not have a problem. This is radius 4. There's only one larger radius, and I had to go with radius 4 because radius 5 would have put it too tight on these legs. But I think these are radius 1, the outer's radius 4 and the inner's radius 3. I'd have to go back and look. It might be radius 5 and 4 anyhow. Yeah, go check it out. This is Canadian Locomotive Logistics. And hey, there's Sir Carl from Bangatcher Junction. Yes, it might have been a Clash of Clans, Monsville. I agree. Or they might be run by Highlanders. Okay, and there can be only one, so they just refuse to work together. There can be only one. As soon as I come back, one of them is going to be gone. It's going to have its front end chopped off, and the other car's going to be look like, I didn't do nothing. Hey, I'm full for hoods and getting smacked around, but you ignored my safe word 3 times. And for that matter, I might have grabbed 2 non-matching couplings because I threw a bunch of Roco and ESU in the same thing. And just grabbed some. But I don't know. I think there was just something in the air with the floor layout today. The Azuma was acting up. The 2 Scots rails were acting up. I think if I'd put anything on there, they would have been acting up. And they ran so beautifully the last time. But this is their debut as running. Now, anybody who watched my video saw me test run them in, and they were running fine. So why today live on stream? And people say, because it's live on stream. But, you know, most of the time, the stream runs smoothly. Last week we got off to a rough start because I had a bunch of old stock vehicles and a couple of them were not in the best of shape. And once I removed them, once I could watch and see who was causing the problems, say, okay, that one's got to go and that one's got to go and this one can go. Bam, everything ran smoothly. Sometimes, you know, it's not the wheel alignment. Sometimes they're just cars that, because of age and slight imperfections in them, they set it all off. And if you can narrow it down and just take that car out, it works. But anyhow, lo and behold, suddenly they're working together, and now I can go back and go, isn't that a beautiful train? This Scotrail is just awesome. The Dapol is gorgeous. These two cars are gorgeous. They're uncooperative as hell, but they're gorgeous nonetheless. They're like a couple of divas. It's their first time on camera, and they've got to get their attention or something. Are you taking notes, Azuma? See? You too could have worked well today and gotten your praise sung, because you know, just because you're my favorite train doesn't mean you get to act up like that. Darn Azumas. Probably mad that I didn't run it for 3 weeks. But 4 years straight. Well, maybe. And really, it was just the Grumman's. The German Austrian contingent is running just fine right now. Knock on rail. Knock on wood. I don't know. Maybe for trains we should say knock on rail. But these guys have been running beautifully. The Czech-made Mehano, or not Czech-made. Oops. Although Slovakian. Is it Slovakian or Slovenian? Mehano is Slovenian, isn't it? They're not Slovakian, they're Slovenian. Yes, Ewan, we already talked about that for the UK stock. In all honesty, I could not put Hunt magnetic couplings on the German stock because most of my German stock is current carrying couplers. And so Hunt would have to break into the European market, would have to learn to make current carrying magnetic couplings, which could be interesting. Some stock I could do it with, like this IC, those cars. But again, I don't have this trouble with any of my Märklin stuff uncoupling. It's the old Roco and Märklin. If I have different couplers, like something from 1970 trying to couple with a new Relics coupler, sometimes that can be an issue. But what I'll do is when I can trade them out. If I can't trade out the old, you know, where they put the coupler on the axle and you have to take off the whole bogie and replace it, then I'll just replace the Märklin Relics coupler on the car in front of it with a matching Roco or whatever coupler to balance it out, or the old Märklin couplers and so forth. So a lot of times I don't feel the need, but maybe with the UK stock. But as we can see, putting on those 2 Roco couplers now, 3 Roco couplers, bam. And then when I apparently didn't get them to lock up properly and get the clasp to come down, now they're running fine. So with matching Roco couplers, they're now working. Oh, hey, Senator Bounty, welcome in. I did not know that. REE did that. Because the big news from REE, of course, I have heard from about 7 channels that I am a heavy follower of from Continental, as well as one in the UK. They're all excited about the REE TGVs. And wow, the price of the deluxe model, that's up there with Roco's newest Railjet models. And speaking of Roco Railjets, anybody that follows European trains, did you see Roco had to recall the black Railjets, the night jets, the black night jets? They're catching on fire. The Black Knight jets are catching on fire. They've had to recall them all. Oops. What happened there, Roco? Did somebody do wiring backwards? Yeah, there should be. I'd like to see the videos. What happened? Because that's one that I really wish I could have ordered, but they wanted $1,300 to $1,400 for it. And I just wasn't going to drop that kind of money when they came out. And then, even if I changed my mind, because I really did want the night jet, I really still do want a night jet. But they cold soldering, yeah. So yeah, Roco, that's going to hurt them to get those all shipped back to them. But of course, that was why anybody who's been with me long enough remembers that the ICE4 from Märklin was delayed because they had wiring and motor problems that kept showing up. And this included they shipped them to the warehouse while they were still, ready to distribute. And then they had to recall them all and fix wiring. And to this day, I don't think those ICE4s run as well as they should. The Märklin ones. I think they're very weak pullers for their size. If you put the 12-car consist on, mine as a 12-car consist does not like going up the incline. It cuts its speed by half going up the incline. And it's not that steep an incline. It should be able to handle that. You're still waiting on your OBB. Anyhow, we have a special guest here today. Who's here every Friday, but she's always special. Let's get this all set up. So, ladies and gentlemen, you probably saw sneaking in the background. Let's go. Where is it? Come on, where is it? Bada bing, bada boom, there she is. Miss Model Train Outsider. Let's get you the camera off your face. Good enough.
Okay then. You need a mic?
Oh, you'll need the mic too. Right, sure, you need the mic. Here's the mic. Have a mic.
Thanks, Mike.
Although we have plenty of Andrews here.
Yeah, oh, of course. So, first of all, hello, everybody. Hi, Jean. Nice that you're here. Hello, Colin. Hi there, Andy.
It's Daisy or
Swayze,
Lil.
yeah, whichever one you want.
Or Joyce, any of the three.
Did I see the pic Anthony put up? No. So hi, Artie. Hi, Tom. Hi, Raymond. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Monsville.
Did I see which pic?
Hi, Chris.
I've
Really,
seen hundreds
Chris?
of pictures, some of which I can't
Hi,
describe here.
March West. Sorry, dude. Hi, Finnerton. Dino. Hi, Dave. Not sure about floating, but okay. Hi, Kieran. Well, thank you, y'all. Hi, Carl. To put up with Anthony. Oh, you'd have to put that dig in there. Y'all
Now, with all
gotta-
that ass kissing,
y'all
imagine if you
gotta
were single.
Consider occasionally that he also puts up with me, so you just get to hear Anthony's psycho. All right, so yeah, I was hearing your.
Of course, this is your.
They weren't doing well.
No, your singing videos came out about this time last week. You were in the Christmas.
Okay.
You were singing it, but where we did this because people asked us to. Not a lot,
Right.
but if 3 people ask, I do it.
Yeah, it's enough indeed.
Hey, it's a.
It just took him a couple more minutes.
But her, very, in my opinion, very impressive. All 3 versions that we have posted. Her her a cappella version at the
Wait a
end
minute.
on her channel, which is like an additional footage where there's no music and no double tracking of her voice. It's just her original single track of both songs spliced together. And then on my channel, where it's both versions double tracked, but it's not. See, in real music, double tracking is where you sing, and then while you're listening to yourself singing, you sing along with it again. I just double her original track just to create a fuller voice effect, a fuller sound. I double it up.
Do not have good pipes. Some people they fill a room with their voice. I don't. I do have my teaching voice, but I have to work up for
on
it.
Reddit, I would never see anything on Reddit because I'm not on Reddit. I finally went on Instagram and joined Instagram a few months ago, and then I ignore it.
You do nothing.
I'm
yeah.
Facebook and YouTube.
I have to start putting things on Instagram.
I did. I put some.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's just about the recall. Yeah, that was on Facebook too, because I'm subscribed to Roco. I'm subscribed to Roco YouTube and Roco Facebook. So yeah, I was seeing all that.
Ding. Oh, that's all of us.
Oh, he's.
Is it?
Oh,
No.
that's that picture. Okay, yeah, that one. Now I'm with you, Andrew. Yeah, I was seeing a few, but I wanted to see a good video.
Yeah, we want to see one actually burning. I say you can use it for.
That's the picture of one burned.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah.
Oh, golly, that would be scary.
Yep. That is a passenger car and the cab control at the end.
All right, night,
Yep.
Kieran.
All right, good night, Kieran. Thanks for always hanging with us.
Yeah, I know, John.
What gift did she give me?
Probably the noggin.
Jean Ricard, which
Or are you
gift?
talking about the eBay gift card?
You're going to have to be more precise, Jean Ricard. Are you talking the little rail bus add-on? The little Sheenan bus add-on?
He
Uh-oh.
says he wants to say hi to Oma and Opa.
Okay, here we go. Everybody, it's plug your
Wow,
ears
that guy.
time. Plug your ears,
Busted in.
everybody. Plug your ears. Here we go. Kyan! Opa loves you.
Opa
Hey,
loves
Kyan!
you.
Hi,
Hey,
Kyan!
sweetie.
See, I knew this is
Yeah,
where Jean
that's
Ricard
the
was going,
T-train,
and I'm going to have
okay.
to fight it out with him.
Ah,
She gave me the gift card. I picked it out.
well, that's true. But I did give you the gift card.
You did, but
Uh-huh.
I picked the particular gift. I could have bought a stuffed shark. I could have bought a collection of Playboy magazines, in which case nobody would be saying, what a great gift you bought him.
Right.
But because it's trains, and
Right.
Jean Ricard has to, of course, after all the compliments,
Stir the-
I gave Jean Ricard a lot of compliments live
He
on
has
air
to
today.
Stir the pot.
He has to go. He has to play proctologist and pretend, can I be as little pain in the ass?
Hi, Andy. Or no, hi, Chesty, which is Dirk.
Yeah, Andy, it's the thought that counts, and the thought was, I don't know what to get him, let him pick it out.
Well, yeah, he's just so precise. And it's easier that way.
Aw,
And
you're
if-
cuddling Artie's
And
friend.
it felt like we were doubling up an awful lot, so... It was a thing. For a Danish thief? What's a thief?
Hey, if an Australian, Denmark, Danish war breaks out, you know, what the hell.
We know nothing.
We know nothing. Sergeant Schultz,
We take-
I know nothing!
We take no responsibility whatsoever.
You can. Clink, shut up. Wounds of escape from Stalag 13. I haven't tried to do Clink in like 30 years.
You have a lot of red on. It's not
Really? I
exclusive-
got a nice
It's not
mix.
exclusively red.
you know, there's red on top of the OBB. Well, let's face it, Germany and
a lot
Austria have a lot of
something
red.
with red.
Well, I've got the blue NordWestBahn, and I've got.
He's got a lot of cars he's pulling.
Oh, the yeah, it's
Mehano?
is it 9 cars that the Austrian
He
one's
isn't
pulling, or
counting.
is it 8? 1, 2,
Gotcha.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8.
Okay. Wheat.
But some of them are full true
Oh.
scale 187, and some are 195s, and some are 193s.
Yeah, right.
Or no, one of them's a 1/100 scale.
Oh, you guys pretty wet again in the UK? No, that storm's going south of us.
Oh,
We're gonna be
bummer.
lucky to get about a quarter of an inch.
Damn
That's
them all.
how I feel about it.
Another storm.
It could change, but the ice.
Hi, Herb and Nancy.
Hi,
Thanks
Herb
for
and
popping
Nancy.
in. Hey, Herb. Guten Tag. Guten Rutsch.
We sure don't want the ice. It looks like that.
We don't want the ice,
targeting-
but it would get you a day off of work.
Maybe more than one. It's going to be a big event. Yeah, it's chilly enough, that's for sure. There's no chance of rain.
Just sit back and eat the popcorn on a Danish-Australian war. That would take like 6 years to even happen.
You saying it would take them that long to get around to it, or just to get there?
Both. Yep. Denmark and Australia fight over the stinkiest beer they sell to tourists.
There you go.
Carlsberg or Foster's?
Oh, now you're really going to stir people up.
Only, no, because Australians are freely admit Foster's is crap that they only give to tourists.
Ooh, minus 20 degrees there. Woof. And wind chill at 30. Yuck.
Egads.
That's chilly. You're only about 15 degrees
Yeah,
away from
because
matching up.
Dirk from Chesty Trains is not far away from, I mean,
Herb and
relatively
Nancy.
speaking,
Right.
from Herb and Nancy.
Right.
You're both in British Columbia.
That's right.
UK's about to have 2 feet of snow in 6 hours. Oh, God, I dream of those days.
Where? I assume northern part. Well, that's better than last week, Artie. You were in the 40s last week. Yeah, let Chesty work it out with her.
Oh, you're in Alberta.
Ah,
Whoops. I keep screwing that up. You're in Alberta.
okay. So not that close. Sorry. Hey, you're Western Canadians.
And Chesty's see, that's it. I keep saying British Columbia, but they're both in Alberta.
Oh, you're
that's,
both in
I know
Alberta.
they're close to each other.
Oh, gotcha.
I just keep getting the damn province wrong because, well, you know, no, I won't even make that
No.
joke.
She said she's next door to BC, so she's close to BC.
Yeah, they're next door to BC.
Okay.
It's British Columbia, Alberta, Manitoba, and then Ontario, Quebec.
Yeah.
Did I miss one in the middle there? Quebec. And then it's Newfoundland and Prince Edward's Island, New Brunswick.
No, it's officially summer. Are your summers really wet in Australia where you are?
Oh, very wet.
Okay.
Because see, I know that because you're near the mountains. You're
Nobody
near the
lives in
mountains, and the
BC.
mountains are west of you,
It's
which
just
would put you in
a myth.
Alberta because British Columbia is west of the mountains. So you're east of the mountains, which would put you in Alberta. See, I know this, and I can never remember. I always say British Columbia.
You mean Vancouver?
Vancouver is British Columbia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew they were both.
Huh. Summer is wet season in...
Yeah. Oh, is Steve here? Hey, Sir
There you go.
Steve of the 87th PSAP.
You don't know what the last word you put in there, Monsville? Oh, Queensland. Okay, now I'm with you.
Yeah, in Queensland, QLB.
Gotcha. Okay.
This isn't Skippy. This is Kendra. This is Kendra Kangaroo. She lives with us to escape from Artie.
Yep.
She and Artie had an abusive relationship.
I had to think about it for a minute, Bonsville. I'm with you.
She and Artie had a rough relationship, and
Well,
they both
Rainforest,
have
right?
very bad things to say about the other. No, probably not, Chesky. Probably not. Oh, you have beautiful footage of your trip there. Joyce and I
no
still have
doubt.
plans. Someday, we're gonna ride. We're gonna ride a train. We're gonna get one of the rooms on the train, and we're gonna ride. We've talked about driving it, but we decided. I think we agreed we wanted to take the train instead and take the train out to the Canadian Rockies.
It's been discussed.
It's been discussed. I thought you said yeah. Because you also want to do that and do the American Rockies. But you still want to get to the Grand Canyon. I still have to take her to the Grand Canyon, but I think that will be a fly and rent a car trip. I'm not driving that far ever again unless it's a train. I've driven all the way across America overnight.
Yep.
And I enjoyed doing it, but that was 30
We didn't get
that
all
was 30
the way
years
across
ago.
America overnight, but we got a pretty good ways across the country.
I did 1,600 miles overnight
From northern Ohio
to western Wyoming.
Western Wyoming, yeah. That was
Pretty much nonstop except for bathroom breaks and meals.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. The VIA trains mostly in the dark.
You did Amtrak,
That's not fun.
Dallas to NMRA. I mean, I would not mind taking an Amtrak train, but when I compare distance and price, they are 2-3 times more expensive than trains in Germany. And they just, like, I was thinking of taking an Amtrak to Amherst. It's like 14-hour train ride. It's a 14-hour train ride, and you have to get off somewhere in New York State and then go in, and then you still have to rent a car and drive down to, you go to Springfield, and then you drive down to whatever town Amherst is in.
Well, okay then.
Or it's in Amherst.
We've been in Basel, in Switzerland.
Yeah, it's not the only place. We've been in Basel, and we went to Rhine Falls in Switzerland. So we've been in Neuhausen, Schaffhausen, and Neuhausen. Kendra not smelling good?
I don't think not.
Well, she's been living down here, and Lord knows she's probably had cats laying on her.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's a long way.
Yeah, but that's when I say comparing
And
distances.
this hopper's getting a little gamey, I think.
That's why I said comparing distances. Like, Hamburg to Munich would be equivalent to Toledo to New York.
Really? Yeah, I guess that would be right.
And it's still 2 or 3 times the price. I can do it. Well, maybe Toledo to Philadelphia.
Yeah, that
Maybe
could be
Toledo to
cool.
Philadelphia, but it's still a hell of a lot more expensive. It's just they have the system, and in Germany, the public transportation system has precedent over freight. Where in the United States, and that's the other thing. You know, yes, there are delays. The German system is far from perfect. They're definitely
Sure.
having problems lately. How about doing Portugal to Singapore? Only 11,000 miles, 13 countries, and takes 21 days as a train ride.
Train ride?
I would love to see Portugal. I have no desire to go. I have no desire to go anywhere in Asia. It's not on the list. I don't
that's
need to go to
crazy.
Japan. I don't need to go to China. Certainly wouldn't go to China at all. Or Southeast Asia. Don't need or want to go to India, the subcontinent. And again, it's for no other reason than all my interests are the UK and Northern Europe. And I have some things I'd like to make it through Romania and Bulgaria someday. I don't know if that will happen, but I'd like
Indeed.
to. It seems alive. Yeah, well, if you are just now tuning in for the first time, Joyce is a perpetual motion machine.
Yeah.
Joyce does not sit still.
Yeah, we took a left at Hawaii.
And as beautiful as Hawaii is, I don't feel the need to go back. Joyce does. Joyce wants to go back. I don't feel a need to go back to Hawaii. It's just the humidity, the tropics, and all that stuff. I'm a Nordic person. I've got way too many things I want to see in Europe before I think the rest of the world. And so maybe that's narrow-minded on my part, because I know like Steve Pesap, he goes to Asia a lot with his job, and maybe outside of his job. But I don't have an interest or a desire, and that's what it comes down to. My
no
passions,
kidding.
Even even my historical passions are rooted more in post-Roman Empire, medieval, into the Napoleonic age stuff in Europe. I know the history of most other places, even the Shogunate Wars in Japan and the various dynastic wars and the Mongolian Wars with China, but my passions are Northern Europe, and there's way too many places that if I were a rich man, I would have visited them all by now in my life, but Joyce and I only began truly traveling in 2017, so less than 10 years ago. Before that, we had been to Germany every year from 2003 to 2016, but that was with students. And while we did get around and see a lot of cool things, it was with students. It was a field trip. We did not get to just relax and enjoy
train
things.
shops in Hawaii? Well, we did not look. Of course, we had very little time.
Yeah, we've got that all. We've got the most modern. We've got the newest passports and stuff like that. Yeah, because that's something Joyce and I are talking about doing. Our trip to the UK in 2026. We are thinking we wanted to catch a Caledonian sleeper from London and take it up to I almost said Innsbruck. Not Innsbruck, Inverness. We want to go up to Inverness and then spend a week up there and then come back down and then the Leeds, York area again. And then we want to hit the south, Plymouth, Cornwall area. And maybe make it over to, because we've also said we might go back to Liverpool, maybe make it over to the East Coast, the Kent area, Dover, Kent area. And if we do that, maybe we'd stop in and say hi to Alan Reynolds, since we've got a lot of open invitations.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, we hit deer in this area. Unfortunately, way too often.
Oh, yeah.
And moose are 3 times the size, 4 times the size of deer. So, yeah.
Kanga and Roo. Oh, that's before 2000s. Kanga and Roo go way back.
Yeah, Hawaiian sand.
Right, Steve. I know that. But
It's true, we did. That was pretty cool.
yeah, because we were just in the UK a month ago. Yeah, Christopher Robin and Kane Gettenrue as well. All right, Lee, thanks for hanging out with us. You can do Aberdeen to Penzance and see the Pirates. I am the modern general.
So, electronic entry.
Yeah, it's electronic entry. Yeah.
Is it replacing it? I can't.
Couldn't get them until the last weeks in December. Yeah, they gave us a little odd entry program because Australia had a little bit of an odd entry with all electronic, but they didn't charge us anything for it. But we figure when we start booking our travel, like Delta Airlines always notifies us that say, here's the paperwork you need. So if it is something new, we'll deal with it. We got a year and a half, so we're not panicked yet.
Hey, lost his swim trunks.
I don't have kangaroo girlfriends. That's your department, Artie.
Better. Just saying.
Oh, yeah, hit one and it is sayonara. There have been plenty of accidents where decent cars hit deer and the deer walks away and the car's totaled. But that's the thing. We have the food chain here in our neighborhood. We're in an urban neighborhood, but we have deer, foxes, and coyotes. Coyotes in our neighborhood. We have coyotes 100 feet from my house. I would worry about them, but they're constantly trying to paint tunnels onto local rocks. And seem to have a large surplus of animals from a company called Acme.
Skunks and the opossums.
Well, we have all those, but that's normal. But I mean, deer have been around for a while, but they have definitely increased. But we have coyotes. 20 years ago, we didn't have coyotes in this area. Now we have coyotes.
Oh. The Kia's still alive. That's good.
Richard hit us. Richard hit a roo with a small Kia. The Kia's still alive.
My sister, technically my brother-in-law, hit a deer. I was about 12. And
okay, I'll have to look for that, Steve.
I was the only one who saw the deer. We were up in the mountains.
Because obviously, Piko, the Piko IC3 would have to be AC for me to do anything. Because I've got the Piko Amtrak IC3, which literally is the Piko IC3 just repainted. Yeah, where you're at, deer, coyotes, cougars, badgers, and foxes. We have badgers around here.
Mm-hmm.
What about the roadrunners, Anthony? They're too fast to see. But we do have woodpeckers.
Yeah, we have woodpeckers. I have them out on my bird feeder.
And we got bald eagles in our backyard.
I have suet, which they like because there's nuts in them and stuff.
It's the AC one. All right, I'll have to look that up. Because I've got that. I actually have that. But it was a DC converted to AC. Oh. Here it is. Because originally they didn't make it. They didn't make it AC. They made this only in DC, and then after I got it converted, they released it like an AC version of it. But this is a false flag. It never was. But now I actually have the Märklin ICE Amtrak, which did run in the United States and part of Canada, and I've got the entire set with all the paperwork. And I've got the Märklin ICE Experimental with the complete set, including the add-on car now. Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. Name the first time that line appeared in a movie.
Sure, I don't know.
Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Wow, I really didn't know.
Because most people nowadays remember it from Blazing Saddles.
Right.
But they were mocking or, punning.
Yeah.
Humphrey
You can say
Bogart, Treasure of the
mocking,
Sierra
it's
Madre.
okay.
And where there are deer, there could be Sasquatch. I agree. Artie is actually
Who
the
is
Australian
friendliest, thanks.
version of Sasquatch. The short, you know, most Sasquatch are really tall. Artie's just kind of that tall.
Yeah. There's deer. There could be a Sasquatch.
Yep, when they are rounding up a posse,
Oh, no doubt.
when they're rounding up a posse to get Humphrey Bogart, they hand it to some guys and say, "Here's your badges." Badges? We don't need no stinking badges.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Well, coming across sheep, coming across deer is scary, but I've seen plenty of video of guys riding motorcycles and jeeps through the savannas of Africa and coming across lions and coming across elephants, coming across rhinos. That tops all.
Yikes. I don't know.
And water buffalo. Nearsighted angry water buffalo.
On my bicycle, I almost hit a groundhog.
I'll just turn around and take the long way around.
That wouldn't
to
have ended
Namibia.
well.
Right, Weird Al used it in, was it in FM or was it UHF? Badgers? We don't need no stinking badgers. Genre card, I did have a Norwegian blue. Unfortunately, it was actually dead and nailed to the swing. Seems to be a scam people do. You try to buy a Norwegian blue parrot and they're always dead upon closer inspection.
Hi, Randall.
Dead, pushing up daisies. Gone to meet its maker. Buried and singing with the choir invisible. If you hadn't been nailed to the perch, you would have been pushing up daisies. No, Raven. Raymond. I gotta make sure I do the right one. There you go. There shall be no YMCA in here. I am 60 years old. I survived the frickin' disco age once. I shall not have it ever revisited again, especially on my channel.
It's pining for the fjords.
Yeah, that was it. I did try to buy one that was live, but it just said alone saying, I miss the fjords, so I let it go. Damn thing flew to South America. He's just tuckered out after a long kip. After a long squat. No ABBA. No disco.
You just keep that to yourself.
I guess I'm going to have to make that the fourth rule at the beginning of my video.
No disco.
Topics
no
shall
reference
include
to
anything except
disco.
politics, religion, or disco. Yes, a Norwegian blue is a polygon. That reminds me of another bad joke. Group of scientists discovered these small
Oh, okay.
critters in outer space called bygons.
No,
And
they
they
do not
noticed
start
that
out as a
these
disco
bygons ate radioactive material and digested it. And they said this would be beautiful. It would help clear some of these radioactive areas like Chernobyl and so forth. So they brought these bygons and they began experimenting with it. The problem is they were so small that they didn't eat a lot. So they began experimenting with them. And so they experimented with them and made them bigger and called them fulgons. And even multiple ones called polygons. The problem is they grew so big, they not only ate radioactive material, they began attacking and destroying cities. And the human race was almost wiped out before they finally figured a way to beat them. And so the moral of the story is, let bygones be bygones.
He's been waiting for the opportunity to do that.
The techno disco crossover is called Tesco. Oh my God, I still hate disco, can't you tell?
If there was any doubt at all.
Country music, swing music, big band music, classical music, some jazz, bluegrass and disco, no. And modern pop stuff, the fluffy pop stuff. That's a place you'd like to visit, Chernobyl. Not me.
Yeah, probably
It's a
not.
tragic. It has the same interest as like a horrible accident where you're driving along and you see a horrible accident. You don't kind of want to look, but at the same time you probably don't.
The techno train in Nuremberg. It was a 7-hour rave.
Well, Lord knows, we're driving down 60 miles an hour down one of our side roads, and all of a sudden you see a deer running with us, and then, oh, lo and behold, he decided to cross the street right in front of me. Twing. Slam on the brakes.
Don't steal seeds off bread. Let byglades be byglades.
Let bagels be bagels.
Bagels be bagels. Bagels be bagels. Jazz, nice.
Done Sellafield a few
Oh,
years
yes,
ago.
you have a very jazzy intro
What, my intro?
on your channel. Yeah,
Dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
dun,
it's very jazzy.
Oh, Monty Python's definitely allowed here. We all do Monty Python.
Same.
I mean, come on, look at the beginning. Well, Knights of the Round Boy Table.
Yeah.
I love myself Python.
Yep.
Tanzwagen and Gesellschaft. Hey, I have a Gesellschaftwagen. And no disco gets played on it. I even like good old-fashioned German Oompa music. I like polka music.
I
You
do
don't.
not.
You do
No.
not like polka music. But I like polka music.
No, I have a very short.
In heaven, there is no beer.
I have a very short.
That's why we
attention
drink it
span
down here.
With accordions.
And when we are gone from here,
I know
all our friends will be drinking all the beer. Yep, I do.
That's just a drinking song.
Yeah. I still
Habit of yours to visit nuclear disasters. I see.
Oh, what is Raymond Legs trying to... if this is something disco related, I shall come through the internet and destroy you, Raymond Legs.
Oh no!
God, I hated disco. Oh, it's the Tanzwagen. Yep, I've seen those. The Euro Express. Yep. I wouldn't mind that train. I wouldn't mind a model of that train someday.
You have to dance on it?
Yes, to get on, to be in that car, you have to dance. It's a party wagon. Yes, it's like a bar car, but.
Yeah.
So I would never ride it. I don't dance.
Wow, Andrew. Good
My
grief.
dancing was standard white heavy metal male dancing. You lean against the wall and go. Ask her. Our first date, she wanted to dance, and I didn't want to go out on the floor. She's like, "Come dance with me," and I'm like, okay. Trying not to step on her feet.
It was a slow song.
And making sure I kept my hands above the equator.
Yep, indeed.
I wasn't even thinking of the hands going below the equator, but there was one time apparently it got too close, and she was like, "Get that hand right back up, middle of the back, sir." Yeah, Märklin did make one. In fact, it wasn't that long ago. I
was
looked at it,
young.
thought, cool train, but A, can't afford it.
I
B,
was looking out for myself.
at the time
What
it
can you
did go with
say?
my layout. Now I think it goes with my layout. Oh, I don't even think. I mean, you saw that it came, but you didn't see it.
Huh?
That's a big
It's
boy.
a two-sided loco. Kind of heavy, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
629 grams. That's one of my heaviest.
Okay.
That's a big boy.
Yeah.
It's a Class 103. It's a classic.
Okay.
It is a classic. There's
You
not
are
a
happy.
blemish. There's not a blemish on it. Never out of the package for 20 years, which means it's going to need a thorough search. Can you imagine 20 years no one ever took it out of the packaging? This dude was meant to run, and it just sat in a box for 20 years. That's sad. It's a sad story.
It is.
Poor little loco, we're going to give you your chance to thrill.
Y'all,
We're gonna let you
Anthony's
go out
petting his locos. What do we think of this? Is he okay?
Poor little guy, built to run and sat on a shelf for 20 years. I was destined to run. I was born to run.
I think to dance, I think you just have to bounce in rhythm. He is a loose nut, yeah.
Get the underlayer, baby, we were born to run.
Oh, boy. Cool.
I'm going to write a song just about this guy. Whoops, I don't want to put him on that. Well, I might cause a short out real
Yeah,
quick.
you're right.
Just because I wasn't straight on.
All right, bye, Dirk.
All right, bye, Dirk. Thank you for hanging in.
Watch my videos.
Who did well in the UK?
We were talking about Kylie.
It's not a big boy, it's a DB. Ah, way to go, Jean Ricard. It was almost funny. I suppose for a Dane that was as funny as it gets.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it's true. They are meant to run.
7
on
periods with
boxes.
Mr. Gormsby.
I agree. I agree.
That's right. All right, well, I will look that up and try to remember it. I will save it.
Yeah.
Save to the...
Get all these places you could save it to.
yeah, it's all the different playlists I have.
Yeah.
Dun, dun.
Okay. He saved it.
Yep. So, no, I am currently working on a couple of new parody songs. If any of you in the UK
That
remember
would
the
be
wonderful
interesting,
band The
Andy.
Jam, I've got a Jam song coming. I love The Jam. I just hope people don't get too offended, like, that was such a serious song and you're using it as a parody. How dare you, you know. That's entertainment. That's entertainment. Open the window and breathe in petrol.
Hey, y'all. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button.
You tell him, Daisy. Now you just got to dress as Daisy. That might get more likes.
Yep, we changed this
We
one.
should get you
Change
for
the
Halloween.
series?
We should get you the Daisy Gunslinger.
There you go.
Because you could do that, like if we make the Ocean Liner Designers channel. No, I have not. I have not watched an Ocean Liner Designers. However, I have been to where they make ocean liners. At least some of them.
Yeah, well, at least, yeah, brand
What was it? Paderborn in Germany?
Yeah.
Paderborn in Germany,
That
where they
was
make
very
some of them.
cool. My golly,
And
are those big.
our late friend Heinz took us down to Paderborn
Yeah.
because they were releasing
Getting
a new
ready
one,
to,
and they
yeah.
had these special channels dug because Paderborn is very inland.
Yeah.
So you think that's an odd
Yeah,
place to make
what a
these
weird
not only
place to make-
cruise ships, but the giant cruise ships. But
Yeah.
they have these, they have
Canals.
these canals,
Yeah.
and they get it all the way up to the and out to the North Sea or whatever.
Which would have been really cool to see.
All right, goodbye, Nancy and Herb. Thanks for hanging out with
I
us.
bet we could find a video of that.
Nah, the fun is doing it
Hi,
myself.
Saturn.
The fun is not having AI write something for me. I don't want artificial intelligence. I want legitimate lack of intelligence. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in 30 years. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live since Joe Piscopo and that crew were on it. Going Underground was a great song. That's Entertainment. A Town Called Malice. What was it? Crap. My brain's got Down in the Tube Station or Down the Tube Station. They have to use the spare beer cans. Just Danish jealousy, Jean Ricard. Danish jealousy. Well, you know, a lot of times you get the guy that's the key singer-songwriter for a band decides that he feels limited with the band, so he has to go in a new direction and break away from the band. I hate when that happens because I thought the bass player in the Jam was really fit Peter Weller, and did Peter Weller go to Style Council after the Jam? I forget which band he then joined, and I never enjoyed it as much. He still wrote, and he writes excellent lyrics regardless of the genre of music he's doing, but he was never as good to me as he was with the Jam musically.
Book their radiogram.
Oh, you broke up playing Radio Calling.
Scotrails ever hop into Artie's
He
Saturday
just brought out a
night
new
show?
album. Yeah, I actually caught that. I saw an interview with him and he announced it. But, you know, and the thing is, he goes on tours and he does a lot of the Jam stuff as well as Style Council stuff as a solo artist now. Take a look at my logo. Somebody's doing another
Right,
Super
yeah,
Tramp,
I
but
got that.
take a look at my
Yeah.
logo.
Okay, Artie.
It's the only one I got. Take a look at
nice
my
to have
logo.
you back, Artie.
Take a look at
That
my
Attila
logo.
dude, I don't know.
I never really run it lots. On my layout at the train club. Like to run all? See, I got to come up with a syllable there.
Yeah.
On my layout at a train club.
Well, there were plenty
See
of
me running
movies
what I
about
can.
AI going crazy.
Yes. Did you catch somebody ask you, do you like the Beatles like I do?
I do like the Beatles. I don't think quite to the extreme that Anthony does, but I am.
But she freely admits they're the greatest band in the history of rock and roll music.
Yeah,
But she is a Zeppelin girl.
it's true.
She is a Zeppelin girl. She likes her more metal.
Okay.
She was a metalhead,
Yep.
which is weird because now she listens to a lot of alternative pop.
I wouldn't call it pop. Smoking in the train room.
Well, actually, I'm already working on Deep Purple Smoke on the Water called Smoke in the
37,000.
Motor.
What? That's sacrilege.
Well, that's sacrilege, Brian. Get out. Okay. Nope, people are free, not this, But the thing is, I am a big lover of Lemmy Kilmister of Motorhead. And he has a great little speech and comment he gives for the people that want to debate the Beatles versus the Stones. And he calls it as it is. And he was a Beatles fan.
Well, that's pretty apparent.
I got all kinds of parodies. We actually wrote, does anybody here remember Tim Wells from Family Model Railway? And then he changed his name a couple of times, and he's recently, in the last couple of years, opened a photography studio, so now he doesn't do trains at all because he's focused on his photography business. But he was a lifesaver during during COVID. He was a lifesaver. He was just a brilliant, wonderful, affable chap. And we wrote a song after he left YouTube to the Moody Blues song, The Legend of a Mind. Instead of Timothy Leary, it says, Tim Wells on YouTube is dead. No, he's online. Different name.
Anyway, a struggle in the middle part. And then he quit coming on YouTube, so it's irrelevant.
We started a little bit of that. But, the thing is, like you just heard, somebody tried something and I started going with it. Mm-hmm. But whether it's any good or not, you got to remember, I do that on the snap off the top of my head immediately. The thought comes and it goes, and you can hear the creative process. So, somebody was trying to work on Supertramp. I think it was Raymond did a little Supertramp bit, and I just took it and ran with it. But I would not try to do it because, in my opinion, he came up with the idea. It's his to do.
What did we feel like yesterday with Hamish Patel? We saw it.
I thought it was a very cool movie. Very cool movie.
Definitely.
To be honest, David, you got to remember, I drove to New York City when Lennon was murdered with friends. We all went to New York City and bawled our eyes out.
Right.
And the scene where he meets John Lennon that's alive at the age of 75, 75, but had never been a Beatle was so sad. It was heart-rendering sad.
Yeah.
Because to this day, I'm so bitter he was murdered. And I'm not somebody who thinks John Lennon was a saint. The man was a very conflicted guy, but he was a brilliant songwriter. He doesn't get enough credit. And the Beatles, to be honest, despite the fact that they don't get enough respect for their songwriting abilities, their sound, because everybody goes, oh, the Beatles, she loves you, I want to hold your hand. No, they also did Helter Skelter. They did Abbey Road Side 2. And there's not a top group from the Rolling Stones to Pink Floyd to whomever you want to name that wasn't heavily influenced by the Beatles. And yes, the Beatles were influenced by Elvis and Carl Perkins and black rock and roll, American black rock and roll.
It's like having a wife without the benefits. AI finishing their sentences.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Monsville. I hate it when it does it because I have an attitude. I'll spell this word myself, especially when it tries to correct grammar.
Yeah, no
I'm sorry, I'm old school. Cannot is not one word. I don't care what MLA says or what Oxford says. Cannot is not one word. It is two words, and I will not stop writing it as two words. Are not is not one word. And I'm not talking the contractions can't and aren't, but the SLA, the standards of linguistics and whatever, or language arts, now says cannot is supposed to be written as one word. C-A-N-N-O-T. No. 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 It's wrong. It looks wrong. Just like it says don't use the Oxford comma. No. You frickin' use the Oxford comma. Otherwise it changes the context and the meaning. Is it really? Oh, it's that time.
Kendra's going crazy. It's time. It's time. It's time.
Kendra's going crazy. Yeah, but I don't listen to Kendra. I've had enough of all her horror stories with Artie.
No.
And then I had to go to Australia and
still
listen
trying
to
to
Artie
discover.
defend himself. Kendra's lying, Anthony. Kendra's lying. It's all lies, Anthony. I never did that. I never did any of that. It's all lies.
You're way too cute to lie. Have a Coke.
So here I am, stuck in the middle. I tell you. These Australians, I tell you, what can I do? Right, where are my New Zealanders to help me out with that? These Australians, right?
Indeed.
Choice, there's AI for that too.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I decided not to.
Yeah, let's do that. What's dinner tonight? Yeah, I don't know. We went out to lunch, so dinner's
Just
probably a light
like
fix our own.
sandwiches or something.
Yeah, we're gonna have a light dinner because we went out to lunch.
Yep.
But yeah, it's what it is. But yeah, we put up that year-end review video, and I mean, obviously there was. I could have talked more about some of the trains I picked up through the year, but you know, it's is what it is. But we had a good time. So thank you to all the positive responses to it.
Right.
Because, you know, we say kind of the same things at the end of every week. Although it was funny, nobody commented on us reversing roles. We did role reversal at the end of that video. Genre car, don't jump the gun. We've got a patent on that. You now owe us $10,000 American.
There you go.
Which is what? 70,000 or 70,000 Danish kroners. But yeah, but it's true. We are here, and 2 weeks from tonight, we shall do number 250. I'm still thinking about what I will do to celebrate it. I've got one idea. Maybe that will be cool, crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, 2 weeks from tonight will be our 250th consecutive Friday live stream.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Holy cows, wow.
That's a lot of Fridays.
That's a lot of Fridays. 52 weeks in a year. That tells you it's going back almost 5 years. But, yeah. And, yeah, it just, you guys are all very special to us, those of you that have come to this channel and stayed for the long haul. Some people come and go. Some people come, go, and never come back.
Right.
But there's a few of you that are just here. You've signed on, and you come, and we never can believe it. Just like when we went to Getz, there were all kinds of ways the receptions could have gone, and it both was outside our expectations and exceeded our expectations. It was great. And someday we'll have that experience with others.
Right.
So on that note, we're going to say, as always, Auf Wiedersehen
Choose.
and happy trains.
Bye.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you.